I just got home, so it's gonna be a very quick one. I met a friend I haven't seen for a year. 1 year. 1 year, and it feels like a very long time. And it's hot as well. It's summer in the city and it's like 1000 degrees. There's no air, there's no oxygen. Anyway, I had my backpack on, and basically to get to A to B I went on the tube maybe 4 stops, and these 4 stops was enough to completely get soaking wet of sweat. When I put down my backpack, you could see the big area on my back where actually the backpack touched. It's a little bit inconvenient when you meeting a friend, you know, you wanna look at your best, but you know, it was impossible. It's Tuesday and we had a meeting scheduled at 6:30, but both of us were late because it's completely packed. You can't really move on the streets at all. Everything full of people, full of tourists. So even if you want to run, there is no place to move. You know, you need to get to the pace of the crowd, and that is very slow, obviously, because they're looking around, they have no idea where to go, how they want to get there and stuff like that. So I was late, he was late, but actually I got there a little bit earlier. It was a bookshop, Foyles, to name the place, because I really like that. That is my favorite bookshop in the UK, Foyles at Tottenham Court Road. And when you go to the bookshop, when you enter the bookshop, you gonna meet the books which is first edition and signed by the author. I think we had like 10 books like that, and one of them was Joe Nesbo. And whenever I see his books, I remember the time when I was in New York and I could choose to go to his meeting or go to another book presentation, and I choose the other one. And see, it was years and years ago, and I still regret not to go to the Joe Nesbo book presentation, you know, where I could meet the author. Anyway, when I looked at the new book, it's called The Knife, I immediately grabbed a copy. I opened it. I wanted to have a look at his autograph, and it was nothing like I've had imagined. It looked like a snail. Basically, you can't even read Joe Nesbo or any letters of that name. It's basically just like a spiral sort of things, like he wanted to quickly draw a snail on the paper. I can imagine that he needed to sign as quickly as possible, maybe 10,000 copies like that, but still, you know, at least you could make your first name, which is 2 letters, J and the O, readable. But no, here we just got this spiral thing going on. I don't know, it's a bit strange, I think. But anyway, I was looking at this book when my friend, whom I haven't met for a year, turned up. And he looked completely different than a year ago. He's doing his masters now, but it could completely change a man, I can tell you that. For example, he had spots on his face when we met the last time, lots of spots actually, and now he had only 2. His hair changed, his whole face changed, he filled up a little bit, but he was a completely different person. And I was like, oh my god, for some people 1 year is basically like 100 years. He was a very good looking handsome man, and before when we met he was like kind of awkwardish, and he really grew into the person he told me he wants to be when we met the last time. And this is great, some people actually achieving stuff. So I looked at him and I said, "Oh my god, you look different, man." And he was like, "Oh yeah, you lost weight." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." The stress being at the uni. Anyway, it was a great time. I asked him if he wants to have Italian food or any other things, and he said, "Okay, let's go for Italian but not pizza." And I said, "Okay, it's gonna be pasta then." So we went to this pasta place. He really liked it's a new place, and we sat down and we had a little chat. Actually 1 year passed and there was so many changes we needed to talk about, and it was very easy for me to talk because he really influenced me a lot. You know, you call these internet personalities influencers, but for me these guys would never really work because I need to have a normal person I'm in the same room with, I'm working with, I'm friend with, and these people can push me to change things in my life. It wouldn't happen if I watch a movie, it wouldn't happen if I watch a vlog or anything like that. But him, yes, he really changed me. He really pushed me to apply to the university and then go for this dreadful adventure. I'm saying it, I call it dreadful because it took me a lot of energy to burn all the bridges and to change my mindset, because before it was just going to work, coming back home, going to work, coming back home, and now everything must be changed. It needed to be done, change everything, and everything was about studying. And obviously he asked me if you know how efficient my studying is, and actually just right there he taught me a new technique. He actually told me the name of the technique, but I can't recall it. It's about focusing for 25 minutes and then taking 5 minutes break. 25 minutes study, 5 minutes break, and again 25, 5, 25, 5. And after the fourth time you studying for 25 minutes, you can take half an hour break. So it's basically after you start, after 2 hours you can have a proper 30 minutes break. But during this 25 minutes time you have a paper next to you, and anything comes to your mind that would break your focus, like for example you want to eat or drink a coffee or drink a tea or eat chocolate, you don't do it. You just write it down on the paper and that's it. It will go away. But when you have your 5 minutes, you need to do that thing so your body, your mind get used to it, that it is actually a process. So like this, your focus gonna be clear after some times you do this exercise. And I think it is an unbelievably useful thing. Sounds incredibly useful, so I am going to try that very soon, because year 2 is starting in few months time. And apart from this, which was the best thing tonight, we were obviously talking about the fun part of studying. And the fun part is when you have with your, I don't know, classmates or your friend or WhatsApp group or Facebook join chat, and you complaining about things. And I said, we have the same. We have a WhatsApp group, and sometimes I don't look for 10 minutes and I have 210 WhatsApp messages on them. But all these 210, even without looking at it, I know that it will be a complaint. It will be complaining about I don't know why the sky is blue, why is it so much, why didn't we get this earlier, why is it this and that, and just complaining. And we were laughing at that because both of us spent some time in the service industry, and I don't know if it's something you need to have in you or you get it along the way, but we don't complain. If you work in the service industry, you don't complain. Maybe you need that kind of skill, I would call it a skill, to get into the service industry, or maybe lose it on the way. Anyway, we don't have it. And I remember the first time when I've seen all these complaints coming in on the WhatsApp chat, I read them and I tried to find a way to, I don't know, make it better, to find some solution. And then I realized this is not my job to do that. And when I looked at him, I saw that that was exactly his thinking about the subject as well. Oh, it was such a great time. We had the same food, we had the same drink, except that he had the sparkling orange juice and I had the lemon, but it's exactly the same food we had. If I think about the problems I have right now, it would be meeting friends, keeping in touch with friends. I know you can have all sorts of problems that comes to mind, maybe problem with the money, with the family, with career or whatever, but for me at this point in time, the most problematic thing is friendship and how to keep in contact. I really need to do something like that, because for me, sending emails, talking on Facebook, liking each other pictures, it just doesn't cut it. I need to meet people face to face, sit down, have a pizza or pasta, drink orange juice or lemon juice and talk and be in the same room. But it's very difficult, especially if you study and work and try to open your business as well. It's just too many things, but in the same time, no one wants to waste time and just do it. It's funny, you know, because there is an age difference, not a lot, a little bit, maybe 10 years. He's younger than me, like 10 years younger, but in the same time he's doing his masters and I'm doing year 1, so it's kinda, we are kinda in balance when we are chatting. Life is great.